Today I'm going to be drawing. Oh, it's been so long since I've talked on video. Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Spicy and it has been a minute since I have uploaded. It is what it is, that's life. I really wanted to get back into uploading in January and it's not February. So I thought a really good idea would be to do a life update and just fill you in on everything, and while I talk, let's watch me paint these really cool vans for myself. So it's been a really long time since I've created a pair of custom vans for myself, and I just really wanted to do a pair. I've been doing all of these art projects and I give all of them away, and this is the one that I was like, I want to keep these, like I want to do these for me. So I went onto the Vans website and I looked at the clearance shoes and just was looking for like generic slip-ons, anything like that. And I found these. They're kind of a light tan versus my normal preference is like a white or a black canvas slip-on shoe. So it's a little different, and I really loved the checkerboard pattern at the bottom, which of course is covered in blue masking tape at this moment, but you'll see that at the end of the video. I do the blue masking tape because it makes it so much easier to clean up at the end. I still get some paint on the edges, but it's significantly easier to clean up little bits of paint than it is to clean up an entire thing. Like even when you're painting your nails, it's the same situation. You use a little bit of liquid latex, and yeah, it's not going to pick everything up, but it's going to make the cleanup substantially easier. So that's what I did. For Christmas, I got a really cool drawing tablet from my parents, and it was so awesome. I loved it, and I've been using it for a bunch of artwork that I've been doing, and I love that you can easily undo and mirror ideas, so you can literally do like a symmetry like effect. So basically, my rough sketch for these shoes I did with my new drawing tablet, and it was like the best experience ever. I always wanted like a Vans stencil outline for like practicing my shoes, so I created one. It's rudimentary and rough and a little bit bumpy, but it's something that I've never had before, and I've been doing this for a really long time, so that was really cool. As far as like the design I wanted to do for the shoes, I've been so obsessed lately with the drip design and effect. It's been so much fun, and Kevin and I have recently been getting into doing puzzles a lot, and one of the puzzles we did was like a donuts puzzle, and I loved like the idea of combining this drippy effect with like something donut-esque, so I decided to make some ice cream vans, and it was a really fun way to practice drawing like a waffle cone. I had no idea how much work and effort it was going to take for me to create a waffle cone effect. You'll see later on in a couple minutes how labor intensive it was. So what you see me doing right now is this cross hatching effect with the lightest color, and then I'm going to go in and draw just the borders, just inside the borders, a darker color, and that'll give it a lot more depth. And then in the very center, later on, in the center of these squares, I'm going to go in with a very light dot, and I'm going to blend it out. So it's really high contrast, really bright in the middle, dark in the border, and then like the lightest, brightest cross hatching on top of all of that. And it looks amazing. I'm so happy with it. So that's kind of an update on the art that you're seeing. And I also kind of wanted to just give a life update. I got a job in October working at a dance studio in the local area, and it's been so awesome. I've really been enjoying my work there. It's more administrative duties, which is what I really wanted. I've had a lot of experience with teaching, and I feel like the best thing for me right now to grow into the profession I want in my future is to learn more of like the business and administrative tasks, all of the legwork that goes into creating and continuing a company, keeping it moving forward. So it's been really cool. And just this past week, after being there for 4 or 5 months, I'm actually getting promoted to a manager. So I'm really excited, and It's going to be a lot more work, but I think it's also going to be super rewarding, and it's everything that I've wanted to build for. So it feels like divine timing. It's like so perfect, and I'm so happy about that. I also I re-enrolled in a community college locally, and I joined the dance program as a way of just getting back into the swing of things. I have not legitimately danced since the audition for Diavolo in the end of July. And a lot happened since then. A lot got in the way. Life, getting a job, my cat's health, all of that got in the way. So it just kind of fell into the back burner. So I thought it would be really nice to just kind of do a class, do it for myself, get a feel for this environment that I'm very accustomed to and I enjoy dancing and working with and collaborating in. And let's see where it goes. I've only experienced one community college ever, and I want to know what this one is like. And if I see a future for myself as a possible teacher there at some point, that would be really cool, but who knows? So I feel a little bit sneaky. I'm not really revealing my cards. I'm keeping them close at this point in time, but it's an opportunity for me to get to know the teachers and the environment and the energy of this place better. And it's also an opportunity for them to get to know me better, so that it's not just a random resume flying in. It's me, it's Spicy, it's the person they know, and that I've danced for them, and that they know what my work ethic is like and what my attendance is even like. All of that they're gonna now know. So I see it as an opportunity for that. I see it as an opportunity for us to possibly get more employment at the job I'm working at as well. It's an opportunity for me to continue my own practices in dance. It's not a technique class, it is a performance and production class. So it is going to be a little different. It's not going to be technique driven, but right now I don't want to do technique. I want to do performance, and I want to work on that side of things. So I'm super excited. I'm looking forward to it, and I have been to 1 week's worth of classes out of 15 at this point. So that's pretty cool. It's been going great, and it's significantly cheaper than taking classes in a studio setting. It's not an easy or affordable industry, and honestly, that's where my intentions are, is that I want to create a space where access to dance classes and techniques is significantly more affordable than $20 a class for 2 hours. I can't afford that, and I know that a lot of people like myself also cannot afford that. My own personal thing that I want to see happen is I want to create a space that is more subscription based, where you have access to this place when you pay a monthly subscription, like going to the gym. And with that subscription, you can access these classes. That is my life goal, is to create something like that. And that's why I want to learn administrative and business in the dance community. That's why I want to take these classes. That's what I want to see in my community. That's what I feel my community needs for people like myself, people who aren't rolling in money but want to continue pursuing these things that they love, and providing access to those who don't necessarily have it, especially anything outside of having a Marley floor and bars. But let's expand beyond that. What about having access to technology so that we can do screen dance or create something much more large scale than we could ever imagine, or what we could afford on our own as individuals? So that's my life goal. That's what I'm building towards. That's what I'm aspiring to. And that's how all of my ideas and all of these things are adding up to this bigger picture. So that's my plan. And yeah, that's that. Let's continue on to the next subject. Bowling. What happened? What's been going on? So I fell behind with my upload schedule as of week 3 of bowling league at my bowling alley. We did weeks 3 through 10? No, weeks 3 through 9. I kept recording it, and I have footage stockpiled. I'm going to be uploading something about that later down the line. But in the 10th week, the first week of January after we came back from the holidays, disaster. we experienced really, really heavy rains, and it was insane. There's always been like this ongoing leak in the entrance of the bowling alley. It wasn't like a crazy leak before, but this particular day, week 10 of our bowling league, they had it closed off. Like the entire front entrance, you could not enter in that way. And so we were kind of just like, okay, that's weird, that's crazy. We walk inside, the reason why it's closed off, it's pouring in there. It's like, it's a consistent drip. And this drip is not just like drip, drip, drip. It is like, it's coming down, it's coming out. And it was like putting a Band-Aid on a very deep wound that required stitches. That's kind of what it looked like. When we got there, bowling league warm-ups start at 7:15. We got there at about 6 so that we could warm up and hang out. Maybe we got there at like 6:30 because we didn't have enough time to actually play. I think we did 1 game to warm up. And we can do 3 games in an hour. So if we got there in less than an hour, we usually just do 1 game and hang out. So we did our game, hung out, sat down, and all of a sudden we hear this really loud, like clashing noise. And it's like, oh no, we know exactly what that was. So we get up and we go look over at that front entrance area, and it's like all of a sudden the water just starts pouring down harder. And we were like, oh no, this is not good. One of the owners, there's 3 siblings that are like the children of the owners, and those 3 siblings are the ones that run the company essentially, and the parents just kind of oversee the back end of everything. And one of the siblings is just look of panic on her face, like she's freaking out. There's these weird noises coming down and the water is getting heavier. We don't know what to do. And we're just like, I think that we're gonna keep going. Like, we're just waiting for bowling league to start now. It's like 7:05, 7:10 maybe, and we're just like, the water is getting worse, but at the same time, it's not that extreme yet. And then at 7:15, right when we were about to start bowling and practicing and warming up, like the roof ceiling tiles collapse in. The roof tiles are probably 1 foot by 1 foot, and there's 3 by 3 of those. Just gone. So much water has to come down for all 9 of those tiles to just fall out and like splash everywhere. And that's when it escalated from like 0 to 100. All of a sudden, one of the siblings comes in and they're like, we're gonna refund all of the games. You guys need to leave now. Like, this has become an emergency. Like, you guys cannot be in here. This is not safe. And everybody whips out their phones and starts taking pictures. And she's like, you guys, you cannot be taking pictures. You need to go. Kevin and I are just like, we heard you. Like, we've seen the scary movies. Like, we're not going to be the people that stick around and watch ourselves get hurt. We're gone. So we're just like packing up our bowling balls. We're leaving. We're getting out. By the time that we leave, we're in like, you know, you step down to get to the part where they have the lanes, and then there's like a little tiny step to get up onto the actual lanes to like bowl. That area where you go down the steps but before you step up onto the lane was already beginning to flood by the time that we left. And like all of the carpet in the front lobby area completely flooded, saturated, soaked. And that is the last we heard. We talked to one of the other siblings the day afterwards, and we asked if there was anything we could do to help. And he was like, the next thing that we're doing is we're waiting for the insurance adjuster to come out. So luckily they have insurance, but that was what we were left with. So we took a 3-week break from bowling. We had no idea what to do or anything that was going on, and we were really sad. I'm still really sad. Like, Kevin and I always talk to each other, and we're just like, I miss the bowling alley. I hope they're doing okay. We even like drove by it one day just to like see what was going on, and it was so sad. The lights are turned off. It's all closed off and partitioned. So we definitely keep them in our thoughts, and we hope that things get repaired so that we can go back to that bowling alley and play in our league. But we needed to stay active in what we enjoy doing. It was really depressing there for some time. Like, you know, you have this passion and then all of a sudden you stop doing it. It's heartbreaking. Just like when I stopped dancing for some time, like you don't feel yourself until you're doing it again. So we joined another bowling league. It's a practice league, so there's no competition at the end of the season. And we joined in their 12th week out of a 15-week season. So we joined the back end, and there's 3 people on each team. It's at a franchise bowling alley, but it's like a separate or private league run by an individual. And it's huge. I mean, this league consists of 20 plus teams, over 20 teams. And yeah, it's a lot. And yeah, it's nice. They do different oil patterns every 2 weeks. They do sport shot patterns. So they're what you would see in like PBA competitive bowling. So it's really cool for that. But honestly, it's just not the same. And we have some friends who used to be in the bowling league at the other alley who are in this bowling league. So it's nice to hang out with them, catch up. But in my heart, it's just not the same. So I'm really looking forward to going back to the other alley, but I'm glad that we have an alternative that it's pretty sweet for what it is, but it's just not as personal as the other alley. It doesn't have that same space in my heart. So yeah, that's kind of a general life update. And what you're seeing now with my shoes is a use of the negative space. So because these shoes aren't white, it feels weird to leave the edges exposed. So I feel like I had to do something more intentional with that. So I thought I would use like a vibrant color. So in this case, green, and you'll see a lilac, kind of lavender purple. And I created a sort of, what would you call that? It's like a negative drip, essentially. So instead of making the drip itself the colorful part, it was the background that I made colorful. So to me, it was a little bit more of a seamless transition of the 2 places. And I was really happy with how it turned out, really proud of it. I themed these shoes after Forrest Gump when he's talking to Lieutenant Dan about the ice cream.
Lieutenant Dan, I got you some ice cream. Lieutenant Dan, ice cream.
And it made me chuckle. And then as I was finishing the shoes and coming up with a title for them, it also felt fitting to call them the ice cream paint job. So these shoes have many names, but I'm really proud of them. The heel, I decided to do a waffle pattern, so just like a waffle cone on the back, because I thought it would be even cooler actually with the waffle cone pattern on the heel to try and make it a little bit more 3-dimensional and have like the little like pokey bits on the edges, if that makes any sense at all, like protrude out onto the other parts of the Vans. But then I was like, that's a little too complicated, I think, so I'll just keep them a little bit more simple. I am a Virgo, I do have a too much gene, so I tried to keep that in mind with these shoes, and I think I did okay. I might have gone a little overboard with the front. They're very busy and there's a lot going on, but I think they look so good. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. And on the back, I used restraint because I was going to write on the back Lieutenant Dan ice cream, but I was also really scared of messing them up or like doing too much, like I said, and you can't just undo it. This is like tangible art. You would have to like completely paint over all of the waffle effect, and that waffle effect is so, nitpicky. It takes so much focused energy, so it's just not worth it to me. So yeah, I chose to do what I did, and I'm really happy with the results. Thanks for joining me. It was so nice to have you here. Your presence is appreciated more than I could ever acknowledge or express. It's so cool to be able to share what I do on this platform and this forum, and I feel so humbled by each one of you choosing to watch this and stay with me, stick around. So thank you, and I'll see you next time.